And welcome back to another episode. As always, we're so glad to have you here today. Today we have a special episode because we're going to be talking about the Tesla Model Y and is it loud? If you're new to the channel or you've been stopping from time to time, we'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearded Tesla. So the Tesla Model Y has been out for a while now, and we've had plenty of reports of what that delivery has looked like. There have been a number of issues that of course have popped up, but one of the interesting ones that I've noticed is a lot of people are saying that their Tesla Model Y is loud. They're talking about road noise and wind noise. Now, my particular Tesla doesn't suffer from these issues. As a matter of fact, it's pretty quiet overall. Yes, I do notice some more noises than I did in a traditional ICE car, but that's because there's no engine running and revs that are making a lot of noise that are drowning out some of those other outside factors. That said, I did want to get a sampling, so I reached out on YouTube and put a poll out there. From the responses that we did receive, 31% of you said yes, your Tesla Model Y is loud, but 69% of you said no, it's not loud. And that doesn't really surprise me. There's a lot of factors that go into what makes a Tesla Model Y loud. Some of this could just be perception, some of this could be real, and for other people it may be that you're used to a little bit more road noise. So it's really hard to gauge, is the Tesla Model Y more loud than it should be? After all, when you're talking about a price point like the Tesla Model Y, it is an expensive car. And when comparing the road noise in a $50,000 Tesla versus a $50,000 luxury car of name your brand, there's probably going to be a difference in what that sounds like. There's a lot of methods that luxury cars these days use to help with sound. There's a lot of insulation put into it. And one of the bigger things that I've noticed is a lot of luxury cars have two layers of seals. That is, they have the standard seal close to the opening of the door, but there's also a secondary seal that goes around the perimeter of the door. What's nice is there's a lot of kits available today that can allow you to add that to your Tesla. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I think that ultimately the difference between those who say they do and do not have road noise that's excessive to what they expected, I personally believe it has to do with variation in quality. Of course, we've highlighted this on this channel, and a number of other channels have shown fit and finish issues across a number of Tesla Model Ys. I truly believe that some of this deviation is causing road noise to be more present in some cars versus others. After all, if a door is not perfectly set and there is some difference, that can cause a difference in the sound that you're going to hear on the inside of the car. Those seals may not be perfectly set in some doors, and they may be really well set in others. So the amount of road noise that you hear can vary from car to car. So like I said, I did get a kit. It's an insulation kit. It's a door seal kit that goes around all the doors. It goes around the A-pillar, the B-pillar, front and rear doors, the lift gate, as well as the hood. So this kit I got on Amazon. It was $29.95. I'll put a link in the description for your review. I'm not being paid. I wasn't provided this kit for free or anything, but I did want to check it out. Additionally, I did buy a sound meter so that way I could compare before and after. I wanted to see specifically on city streets as well as the highway what that difference is before and after. Also, I did drive through a car wash both before and after to see if there was a difference. To install this kit, it's really easy. It took about an hour, so it is a little bit time consuming, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. A lot of the work that I had to do, of course, was setting up cameras and things like that, which can really add time. But for you, it's pretty straightforward. You don't need any special tools. Actually, all you really need is a pair of scissors. You're going to need a microfiber cloth and something to clean with. I used glass cleaner. So this kit's well organized. Each package is labeled for where it goes. It also comes with individual packets of adhesion promoter, and they're going to give you enough to do all the doors, plus you're going to have some extras. So some of the bigger panels you're going to want to do in steps rather than the entire panel all at once. So you're going to start with the hood, and this is one of those ones that you're going to do twice. So first you need to get whatever you're using to clean with your microfiber towel. You're going to clean the lip around the entire hood. Once that is done, you're going to open a packet of the adhesion promoter. and then apply that 1/2 of the way around the hood. The hood is pretty easy, so you can get a lot farther with this adhesion promoter before you move on to the second half. You're going to start at the very edge, pull the red tape off of the seal, and apply at the very edge of the hood. Follow this edge all the way around. What's really nice about these cars is on each of the panels that you're going to do, there's going to be a little bit of a shape at the edge of the doors and the hood and the tailgate. So that's going to be a great guideline of where to place this. So follow this all the way around halfway. Once you've reached halfway, go ahead and apply a second packet of adhesion promoter to the second half of the hood. Then continue to pull that red tape off and apply the rest of the seal all the way around. Once you get to the end, trim off the excess with a pair of scissors and you're done. Now we're going to move on to the front door. And it's the same process, except for with the doors, there are drain holes that you need to make sure that you allow by cutting out into the seals. So you're going to start in the corner of the door because you have two different shapes coming together. So make sure you clean the surface and then start to pull back that red tape. Go ahead and apply this to just the corner of this door and then pull it out and find out where that drain hole is and cut that out in the seal. And then continue to apply the bottom of this seal, cut out that second drain hole, and then apply all the way to the edge. Simply trim off the excess and you're ready to go. Then you're going to apply the vertical side of the door. It's a pretty similar process. Just pull back that red tape, apply the adhesion promoter, and stick the seal all the way to the edge up the door. Trim the excess when you're done. Now for the B-pillar, this is a smaller piece and it's actually got a little bit of a shape to it. So make sure you start at the top, clean all the way down, apply the adhesion promoter, apply the seal to the top and work your way down. Once you've reached about 3/4 down the door, you're going to see this part of the door goes away, and it goes away at an angle. So when you cut this piece of seal, make sure you cut it at the same angle roughly as what the door has. Now on to the rear door. Same as the front door, except you're going to start in the bottom corner. You're going to work your way over, make sure you clean the surface, and apply that adhesion promoter. Work your way from the corner, cut out that first drain hole, and then move your way over until you get to the second drain hole. Cut that out as well. Apply this all the way up to the top and trim the excess. Pretty simple so far. Now we're going to move on to the lift gate. And for the lift gate, there's less in the shape of the lift gate for guiding you along your way, specifically around the taillights. It's not a big deal though, just follow the edge of the body all the way around. And for the tailgate, I recommend doing this in thirds. So do one side, then do the bottom, then do the other side. You're not going to have to cut this into pieces, so just work your way all the way around. Once you've applied this all the way to the edge, go ahead and trim the excess and you're done. Now just repeat the same process we did on the driver's side on the passenger side. Now when you do receive this kit, it says it's for a Tesla Model 3, but actually what they've done is they have increased the size of this kit to accommodate both the Tesla Model Y and the Tesla Model 3. So don't worry, it is supposed to say Tesla Model 3, at least for now. Hopefully they'll update those instructions to be more clear in the future. This is a pretty simple process, and honestly, it took me about an hour, but it wasn't too bad overall. One of the things I notice immediately is the sounds that the door make when you close them. Specifically the lift gate, that one has the biggest change, at least in my case. So when you close the lift gate, it usually would make a thud sound and then you would hear it continue to close. Now it closes immediately and it makes a solid sound. The doors are very similar as well. It sounds more like a higher end car when it's closing. It sounds more solid. Now for the results, and this is really where this all comes full circle. Was it worth it? I want to start by saying, please remember, I didn't have issues with road noise. I thought that my Model Y was relatively quiet with the consideration of these are pretty thin windows and there's a lot of glass in this car. That said, I didn't have an overly noisy driving experience in the Tesla Model Y. So any improvements that I was going to gain were going to be marginal. Now, full disclosure, the sound meter that I did purchase was pretty cheap. It's not going to be the best one out there. However, it should show us some differences between before and after. And that's really what I care about. So the first test was driving in the city. We chose a route that was 45 miles per hour, and our results before were 65 to 70 decibels. After the seal kit, this decibel reading was somewhere between 63 and 69. That is an improvement, although marginal. But that improvement, I will tell you, is more heard when cars are passing in the other direction. There's a lot less noise of traffic going the other way than there was before. You definitely notice less road noise, but according to the meter, it's pretty small. I chose the car wash because I thought it would be interesting given it's such a loud, noisy environment. There's a lot going on there. So I did this in 2 steps. The first step was everything leading up to the drying room and then just the drying room. So there's 2 different areas that I focused on. Before, we were getting 70 to 93 decibels in the first part of the car wash. We sat close to 75 for most of it, and that's probably the average that we were seeing. After the installation kit, we were 69 to 93. So that peak at 93 was still there. So there was a very loud section, and it was when the water was being forced on the windshield. So that didn't improve, which is no surprise. However, we saw the meter sitting closer to 72 on average rather than 75. So there are a few decibel improvements happening after we've installed this kit. Now on to the drying room. Now, just as a reminder, in this drying room, there are very large fans that are running at a high speed. Now, before we installed this kit, we were getting 80 to 85 decibels in this room. After we installed this kit, we're now seeing 78 to 82, which is a noticeable improvement. And this makes sense because now we're measuring wind noise more than anything else. Now on to the highway. So the first trip before we installed the kit, we were getting 70 to 75 decibels. So that 70 to 75 decibels, we were sitting around 72 most of the time. So 72 on average. After the kit, we were getting 70 to 73 decibels. But again, we were sitting 72 most of the time. So on the highway, it's hard to say that we really gained any improvement, although maybe on the high end it came down a little bit. But on average, it was about the same. Now, I do want to say, after we installed the kit, it was a very windy day. Winds were about 20 miles per hour, so it was a lot of noise coming from that. However, there was no major change in the sound that we were hearing on the highway. Now, we did everything in reverse. These are the average numbers that we got city at 45, through the car wash, and on the highway at 75 miles an hour. Overall, this kit measured a slight improvement according to the meter. I will say though, you can definitely hear the difference. When you're driving normally, just around town, you definitely hear less road noise. I never really had any wind or whistle noises to begin with, so no known improvement there. However, if you're hearing wind or whistle noises, you probably have an issue with the roof, not the doors. Again, my car didn't really have issues to begin with. However, the most improvement that I'm noticing is when cars are passing going the other direction. That's usually pretty loud and you can hear the tires on the road making a lot of noise at high speed. That definitely has gone down quite a bit. So it's probably more of the high end that's come down than anything else. One of the other benefits that we're gaining from this kit that I think is important to note is that it's actually keeping moisture and debris out of the door sills. So by having this kit, we've now sealed an exterior layer, so that transition area between the exterior and the interior of the car usually collects a lot of dirt and debris. However, with the seal kit, even going through the car wash, there wasn't water sitting there like there normally is. So this is an added benefit that you'll gain from this kit. Again, this was $29.95 on Amazon, which is pretty inexpensive. There are some more known name brands available, RPM Tesla as an example, but those kits come at a much higher price. I don't know what the quality difference is between this kit and the more expensive kits that are being sold online. However, I think that this one will do the trick, and for $30, it's kind of hard to lose. At the end of the day, whether you have road noise, wind noise, or not, perhaps this is something you might consider adding to your car anyways. Adding that extra layer of protection to keep moisture and debris out of the transitions is an added benefit. I hope that this video was helpful. And if you haven't already, we hope that you'll consider subscribing. If this video was helpful, please give it the thumbs up because it really helps. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.